Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Sunday, November 20th, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. New Orleans Saints vs Los Angeles Rams. It is time to establish something: the Rams as currently constituted are not very good. While that may not be a huge revelation, it is important to realize as the Rams remain involved in games with reasonable lines. Take away the Super Bowl title, and just going by the numbers, this game is a no-brainer. The Rams' offense is last in rushing and just 21st in passing. They have arguably the worst offensive line in football, and they have the responsibility of protecting a quarterback that is coming off a concussion. Now, Stafford will be without his safety blanket in Cup, so he will have to quickly establish a working relationship with the rest of his wide receivers. The Saints have not played much better than the Rams, but have put up far superior offensive numbers overall than LA has thus far this season. Dalton will get another crack at keeping his starting QB job and, despite his own failings, has produced more than the Rams' offense has this season. Expect a fairly sloppy game with 2 of the 3 worst teams in turnover differential this season, but a game that will ultimately be won by the home team Saints. LA's playoff aspiration likely went up in smoke with the loss of Cup, while the Saints cling to their slim hopes. Take the Saints -3 points. Both of these teams are equipped with abysmal offenses that are going to struggle to get into the end zone. This matchup may include more field goals than touchdowns. With Cup gone for Los Angeles, I don't see the Rams getting downfield through the air easily. For the Saints, Kamara and Olive are going to be key weapons, and they will be important for play calling that involves getting around Donald. This game is going to come down to which kicker can come in clutch and which defense can make stops. The Rams will run the ball more, and the Saints will play a slower offense mixed with running and passing. Take the under 39 points. Atlanta Falcons vs Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears continued their rebuild at the trade deadline as they dealt away 2 defensive stalwarts in Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn for draft picks. In addition, the team added more weapons for second-year quarterback Justin Fields as they traded for Steelers' Chase Claypool. Despite going just 1-3 in their last 4 games, Fields has played his best football in that time. He has thrown 8 touchdowns in that span with just 2 interceptions. On the ground, Fields has been even better in the last 4 games. Fields has rushed for 467 yards on 50 carries for an average of 9.3 yards per carry and 5 touchdowns in that span. The Bears' offense has produced an average of 31 points in that stretch. Unfortunately, the defense has struggled in that same span, certainly hampered by the losses of Smith and Quinn. In the team's 31-30 loss to the Lions at home, the Bears' defense allowed 323 yards of total offense and 25 first downs and coughed up a 24-10 lead heading into the 4th quarter. Despite 2 straight losses, the Falcons remain in the hunt for the NFC South Division title. The Falcons are now 4-6 and in second place in the division behind the Bucs. Last Thursday night in rainy Carolina, the Falcons fell behind early, 13-3 at the half, and they were only able to match points with the Panthers in the second half. Marcus Mariota finished the game 19 of 30 for just 186 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. He also led the team with 43 yards, as the Falcons' vaunted rushing attack was held to just 138 yards because the team trailed early on. The Falcons' defense allowed 232 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in the loss. This matchup, on paper, appears to be a battle that would take place in the 1970s with 2 teams that prefer to run the ball and struggle through the air. The Bears rank first in the NFL on the ground, while the Falcons clock in as the 4th best running attack. Of the two teams, the Bears have turned into the more dynamic of the two teams. Mariota and the Falcons' offense has generated just 32 points total in the team's last two games, while the Bears have scored 62 points in that same time frame. Fields is certainly the more dynamic of the two quarterbacks, even if they have somewhat similar skill sets. In addition, the Bears have added more firepower with Claypool on the roster, combining with Darnell Mooney and Equanimeous St. Brown to give the Bears a formidable front three receivers. On the defensive side of things, the Bears can take more chances loading the box to stop the run because they possess a stronger secondary than Atlanta. Chicago is 10th against the pass, while the Falcons are last in the league against the pass. Look for the red-hot Bears offense to make more plays in this game and pull out the victory. Take the Bears plus 3 points. The Bears found a way to lose on Sunday, botching a late lead at home versus Detroit, who scored 21 fourth-quarter points en route to victory. Chicago has scored 29 or more points in 3 straight games, but lost them all. In the latest defeat, Bears quarterback Justin Fields rushed 13 times for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns to go with his 167 passing yards and 2 passing TDs, but it wasn't enough. Fields has rushed for 100+ yards in consecutive games as well. He set the record for the most rushing yards by a QB in a regular season game, 178, the prior week versus Miami, eclipsing the previous mark, 173, set by Falcons QB Michael Vick in 2002. The Bears are better than the Falcons, even if the spread suggests otherwise. Carolina pressured Mariota last week, sacking him 5 times and forcing an interception. The Bears have a top 10 pass defense, 203.4 yards allowed per game, and are tied for 4th most interceptions, 9. I have a feeling Chicago will dial up the blitz on passing downs, forcing the Falcons QB into poor decisions. The lack of a passing game. Atlanta is 31st in pass yards per game, will constrain the Falcons' offense, limiting their team total to 14 points or fewer. Chicago could score 30+ again, but it won't have to. The under is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between these two in Atlanta, a hot trend I believe will continue on Sunday. Bet the under at 49.5 total points scored. Denver Broncos vs Las Vegas Raiders. There is only one unit in this game that is playing good football, so that is who I am going to back in this contest. The Broncos have the 2nd-ranked defense in the NFL, and they should have no problem slowing down this version of the Las Vegas offense. Carr probably added to the issues with his post-game comments last week, especially with some of his top targets already sidelined with injuries. He is going to have trouble dealing with Denver's defense on Sunday, and the Broncos should come up with a few plays on offense to pick up a win. Take the Denver minus 2.5 points. The under is 4-0 in the Broncos' last 4 home games and 5-0 in their last 5 games, following an ATS loss. Josh Jacobs had success against Denver in the first matchup, but he's been unable to get going lately, and with the passing game in for a tough challenge, I don't envision Vegas moving the ball too much. The Broncos, on the other hand, are fortunate to turn their red zone opportunities into any points at all. There might not be anything of significance on the line between these teams, but I'm expecting a tense, hard-fought game with a low score in Denver. Take the under at 41.5 total points scored.